Hey everyone, it's Mr. Wub194. I hope you're doing well today. I have a book review here for a book that was kind of a Goosebumps knockoff back in the 90s. I've never read it until now. This is the first of this series I've ever read. And I read it during Christmas time, like I said in my review for Truth or Dare from R.L. Stine, a Fear Street book, just right before this upload, that I had some books I read during Christmas break when I was very sick that I do hate quite a bit. Truth or Dare was one of them. The other one is this one, which is way worse than that book. This book is from M.D. Spencer, the creator of Shivers. And this is Shivers, The Thing in Room 601, which is book number 19. Now, this cover kicked ass. Aside from the baby shit brown that's all over this book cover, you have an axe here. And a lot of the book seems to be referencing The Shining from Stephen King, which I was super stoked about too. I had quite a few Shivers books, and let me tell you, this one was so stinky by the end of the book, and so sucky by the end of the book, that I put all of my Shivers books in my Goodwill box right over here to take to Goodwill at some point because I'm not even going to touch them. Not even going to read them. I'm trying to get through my backlog of movies and games and books, especially movies, this year. This is one of those series that I can tell already I fucking despise. I don't want to read it. I don't want to finish it. I'm not going to read any more of these because of how bad this was. You can argue all the time, oh, well, maybe he got better. We're talking number 19, bro. It ain't getting better. It's not getting better at this point. Anyway, M.D. Spencer feels like a teenage writer. And I hate to be mean like that. Maybe he was an adult. Maybe he was a teen. I don't care. The whole point is it reads like a teenager wrote this book. The Thing in Room 601. What is this book about? Well, basically, you have a brother and sister. I believe it said they were twins. I could be wrong. It's been 3 months since I've read the book and I was sick, so who cares if I remember that detail or not. But anyway, they go with their mom to a hotel in California. Yeah, I know. It's a joke. They go to the hotel in California, and they basically have a situation where their mom has to leave them by themselves to go back to where they came from before the dad can show up too, because of one of her friends or somebody, I don't remember, having some kind of personal problem. They needed the mom because she was all they had. So she went back to their home before this wedding that's about to come up that these guys went to California to begin with to be there for. Now, the kids have to stay by themselves, but for the mom to be able to save some money, she basically had the hotel change their rooms up to basically these old rooms that maids that worked at the hotel used to stay in. It's very small, very cramped. I don't even remember if there's any windows in those two kind of connected bedrooms. But it's kind of an unknown place, and apparently these two bedrooms have an urban legend, according to somebody they talked to, that they may be haunted, and there might have been some murders tied to this room, possibly. And let me tell you one thing, this amazing picture for this cover with the bloody axe and stuff, you ain't gonna have that scene in this book. You're not. You're not. I'm just gonna tell you out front. It's not a spoiler, it's just a warning, basically, is what I would tell you. Now, there's a difference between a spoiler and a warning, and this is a warning. This book is not what you think it's going to be. It's a Goosebumps knockoff, first and foremost. I'm a huge Goosebumps fan. I have a whole channel dedicated to it, like many of you know, called Michael Goosebumps Fan. I've reviewed every Goosebumps book ever. The majority of them I love. I don't mind children's horror when it's well done, and it's not just shoddy and rushed and a cash grab or whatever, like you see a K.R. Alexander book or something. But M.D. Spencer, you can tell this book is self-published. You can tell. Because this, if there was a real company that had put this out that was not M.D. Spencer's own company or a friend of his company, I would be ashamed. I would be absolutely ashamed if this was a traditional publisher of some sort. It feels like a small, knockoff, self-published book. The way the quality of the paper is, the way the cover looks, the formatting of the book is obnoxious. These kids are not the most lovable children, but what children really is. What child really is. I messed up my joke. Who gives a shit? The formatting on the book is something I really need to address here. First and foremost, let's look at chapter 1 here. Do you see anything wrong? Do you see anything wrong with the words chapter 1? How off-center it is? Now you want to see something real wacky? Let me go over to chapter 2. Chapter 2 is on the opposite page, right? Chapter 2 is formatted properly. I looked through the entire book as I was reading it back in December, and every single chapter is done that way. If it's on the left side of the book, it's formatted perfectly. Instead of having that move to the right side of the book like properly should have been, I guess it was to save paper from a small self-publishing or a company or whatever to make this cheaper to produce, every time on the left page, the formatting is fine. Every time on the right page that it shows up a chapter heading or whatever, it's off-center. And I don't understand what the point of that was. It's not an artistic choice to make somebody feel uneasy because it's a children's book. But it is embarrassing, dude. For 124 pages, I burned through this in about a day because I just wanted it to be over. I burned through it in about an hour or so. If you take all the time I read it and all the different sittings I had to put it down and read something else that was actually decent or good, like Shibuya Goldfish Volume 1, a great manga if you haven't read it, this was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. I fucking hated this. I don't think I have words to describe to you how much I hated this book. And again, it's aimed for children. I'm trying not to be too harsh in that sense, but I have read Goosebumps most of my life now. And I would tell you, Goosebumps is incredibly well made. Stein knew what he was doing. It can be bloody and scary. It can be fun and silly and comedic and actually make you laugh. And most books can't do that for me, adult or otherwise. This book is a mess and a half. And if I had paid, how much was this? It said originally it was $3.99. I don't know when that came out. Yeah, $3.99 down here and the sticker on the front. If I had paid $4 back in the 90s for this piece of shit, I would have been mad. And again, possibly, I've heard that Shivers books can not really vary up too much. I've heard that all of them, pretty much, that people have read have been bad. I have a friend named Monster Blood. Go check out his channel. Really great guy. Really love his videos as well when he does videos. He had talked about the Shivers franchise and the series in general, and I'm going to tell you right now, there's a reason you haven't seen these adapted to TV movies or anything like that, because this was so bad they could never make it work. It's kind of like Ghosts of Fear Street. Ghosts of Fear Street is also from ghost writers that kind of worked with R.L. Stein for his Fear Street kind of children's Goosebumps version of Fear Street, and that felt the same way sometimes. But it didn't feel as bad as this. You know, that clearly had some kind of quality control to it. Shivers has none. Absolutely none to it. Anyway, I don't have anything else to say. Shivers number 19, The Thing in Room 601, is a shining knockoff piece of trash, and it sucks. It's so boring and trashy, and nothing happens in here. And it feels like the story meanders forever. It just never really gets to a really good point that has some kind of peak anywhere in the book. The concept wasn't too bad as a shining ripoff for kids. I thought that could have been a unique way to write a children's book. No, we don't even do it. We don't even try to do more of that to make it fun. The resolution of everything by the end of it sucks. Don't read this. Don't read Shivers in general. I can already tell you based on one book. Number 19. 19 books into this franchise. It's horrible. Don't spend your time on this. If I had to rate The Thing in Room 601, Shivers number 19, whatever you want to call this piece of shit, on a 5-star basis, I'd give it like a 1 out of 5 stars. It's embarrassing. If there was ever a bad book that I've read and reviewed for this channel, this is it. This is like the equivalent of like modern day Marvel comics or something, with how horrible the quality is. Anyway, have you read it? What do you think about it? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this and the Shivers franchise and MD Spencer in general down in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you all. Catch you later on another review whenever I get another book read at some point. Anyway, thank you. God bless you guys. I'm finally caught up on all the reviews that I've missed trying to review for you. I have one more Christmas book now that I think about that I think I have not reviewed. It was also self-published, I believe. But I may do that sometime soon. But at this point, I'm basically caught up on everything I forgot to review for you aside from that one. Thank you guys for your patience and your kindness, and God bless you. Goodbye.